Students, in this lecture we are going to discuss the different protective devices that are being used at construction sites. See, in order to ensure safety of our employees and safety of our construction personnel, we need to have various sorts of construction equipments. So let us discuss them one by one. You can see the first one is eye protection device. This device is used to protect our eyes and protect the eyes of the workers, employees working at a construction site.
Enables your business to be compliant with OSHA.
It is more or less just like a goggle or a lens type.
Hearing protection, such as
now you can
earplugs
see the second
and
one.
earmuffs, helps to
This is a hearing protection device. Since at construction sites we often hear a lot of noise due to construction, due to demolition work, due to running of machines. There is a lot of noise at construction sites. So in order to safeguard our ears, we use this type of hearing protection device.
reduce noise exposure levels and lessen the risk of hearing loss among the workers in your facility. Common places for hearing protection include construction sites, manufacturing plants, or any place with loud or continuous noise. A single head injury can handicap an employee for life, and even minor head injuries can be fatal.
Now you can see here, this is a head protection device. The blue one you must have seen. We often use this similar type when we work in our workshop. You must have worked in the workshop in your first year, and this is a head protection device. It is used to protect our head at construction sites. It consists of a glass. You can see a glass here. Whenever we are working with some welding work or some work which can cause harm to our eyes also, then this sort of head protection device is used.
Your workers with hard hats, helmets, and facial visors in
This is
any
also
environment.
Helmet, a simple helmet. You must have seen when construction goes on anywhere, this sort of simple helmets they use, or this sort of yellow helmets. Often the engineers and other work persons they use.
Where there is a risk of falling or swinging objects. Head protection must be worn at all times to eliminate injuries. Respirators help workers breathe safely in hazardous areas,
Now
including
this is a
places
respiratory
like chemical
protection.
plants, sewers.
You are quite familiar with this type of respiratory protection. In today's scenario, this is quite common. A respiratory mask. It's just like a respiratory mask, which we are still using in case of COVID-19. So it allows us to stops the dust particles from entering our nose and mouth, and protects us from such sort of dust particles, from harmful gases like that.
Tanks or sandblasting areas. Respirators provide effective protection against airborne substances and particles. Hand protection is vital for workers who are exposed to harmful
Now
substances.
you can see the next one is hand protection. What is this hand protection? You must have seen doctors. They use gloves. So this hand protection is just similar to gloves for protecting our hand from getting dirty or getting injured while working at construction sites.
Substances, skin absorption, severe cuts, chemical burns, or extreme temperatures.
This may be of these different types. For working in some chemical industries, we use this type of leather made gloves so that our hand is protected from the chemicals.
Your workers workers can avoid severe injuries through the use of quality hand protection, and that saves your business time and money. Protective clothing shields workers from hazards on the job, which include heat and radiation exposure, hot metals.
Now you can see this next one is protective clothing. Protective clothing is also quite clear. If you see in the present scenario of COVID-19, the doctors must have seen they are wearing PPE, personal protective equipments. So it covers the entire body from top to bottom. Similar protective clothing are used. You must be seeing an apron, which is quite often used when we go to our workshops and we do some welding work, we do some other works in our welding workshop. Okay. So this type of protective clothing is used as sites to protect our employees.
Hazardous materials or waste. Protective clothing includes a variety of vests,
This red
coveralls,
jacket you must have seen at metros. Whenever construction of metros happens or construction of highways happens, this sort of jackets you must have seen there. This is also a type of protective clothing.
foot protection, and more. Ladders, platforms, and scaffolds pose great danger to your workers. Keep
Now
them
next is fall protection. Suppose we are working on some high-rise buildings and we have to do some finishing work, we have to do some construction work. So in order to safeguard our workers, our employees and people who are working at that site, in order to safeguard them from falling down, we use this type of fall protection. This consists of a belt tied to waist, and then it consists of a hanger type which is fixed to some permanent object in the building, at the top of the building, so that we do not fall directly on the ground.
secure and protect them from injury and death when they're working at great heights by providing safety harnesses or fall protection to wear. Ergonomic equipment, as mandated by OSHA,
This is a
protects
type of
employees
belt.
from repetitive motion,
is used.
which helps to lessen the occurrence of injury. Additionally, ergonomics keep workers comfortable while reducing
These
the
are also different types of waist belts which are used for protection from falling.
strain on joints and muscles, and that leads to higher productivity. SEAT is a resource for information on safety.
Thank you.